How Rhaenyra's revenge triggered the Dance of the Dragons, the firestorm that consumed Westeros. In the history of Westeros, few events burned as bright or as tragic as the Dance of the Dragons. It was not just a civil war, it was a war of succession, of dragons, of pride, and most of all, of vengeance. At the center of it all stood Rhaenyra Targaryen, a woman born to rule, crowned the heir to the Iron Throne by her father, only to see it stolen from her. But what sparked the true inferno? It was Rhaenyra's thirst for revenge, a retaliation that lit the fuse for the Targaryen Civil War. Today, we explore how Rhaenyra's revenge triggered the Dance of the Dragons, and why it would change the realm forever. Welcome to the channel. Subscribe if you love House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, and deep dives into Westerosi lore. Let's begin. The Promised Queen. Rhaenyra Targaryen was never just another Targaryen princess. She was the realm's delight. Groomed from a young age to be her father's successor, she was named Princess of Dragonstone, publicly declared the heir to King Viserys I. In a bold and unprecedented move, Viserys I rejected the tradition of male primogeniture, placing his daughter ahead of any male contenders. But the seeds of betrayal were sown early. Many nobles, especially those aligned with House Hightower, quietly questioned this choice. In a patriarchal realm, a woman ruling the Seven Kingdoms was seen by some as a threat to the order. Still, Rhaenyra believed in her right. She trained for it, dreamed of it, but dreams don't always survive in Westeros. The Queen Who never was. Let's rewind slightly. Rhaenyra's story echoes another tragedy, Princess Rhaenys Velaryon, known as the Queen Who Never Was. Passed over in favor of her male cousin, Viserys, Rhaenys became a living reminder that Westeros was not ready for a ruling queen. But unlike Rhaenys, Rhaenyra would not accept being passed over without a fight. She had dragons, she had supporters, and, most of all, she had fury. So when her father's death came, and her stepmother, Queen Alicent Hightower, moved swiftly to crown Aegon II instead, Rhaenyra saw it not as politics. She saw it as treason. And she would answer it with blood. The Green Coup. The moment King Viserys I died, the realm held its breath. Instead of informing Rhaenyra of her father's passing, the Hightowers locked down the Red Keep, and crowned Aegon II in secret. The coronation took place in the Dragon Pit, rushed and shadowed, overseen by Alicent, Sir Criston Cole, and Lord Larys Strong. Rhaenyra was still at Dragonstone, unaware of the betrayal. When she finally heard the news, something inside her shattered. This wasn't just politics, it was personal. It was war. Rhaenyra's wrath ignites. The betrayal broke Rhaenyra, but it also hardened her. In a stormy gathering at Dragonstone, she held court and declared herself the rightful queen of the Seven Kingdoms. Her Black Council, the loyalists who supported her claim, gathered quickly. Her husband, Daemon Targaryen, stood by her side, as did houses Velaryon, Blackwood, and Stark. But it wasn't just words. In a brutal act of revenge, Daemon ordered the assassination of the Greens, Spymaster, and Rhaenyra sent messages across the realm demanding oaths of loyalty, or threats of fire. But the tipping point, the moment the Dance of the Dragons officially began, was the death of Prince Lucerys Velaryon. Storm's End and the first dragon death. Lucerys Velaryon, Rhaenyra's second son, flew on his dragon Arax to Storm's End, hoping to win the allegiance of House Baratheon. But Aemon Targaryen, her half-brother and Aegon II's fiercest supporter, was already there, riding the mighty Vhagar, the largest dragon in Westeros. An argument turned deadly. As Lucerys fled into the storm, Aemon pursued him, and Vhagar, disobeying her rider's command, ripped Arax from the sky. Both boy and dragon were lost to the sea. When Rhaenyra heard of her son's death, she said only, "I shall show them what it is to lose a child." From that moment, Rhaenyra's revenge would become unstoppable. Blood for blood. Lucerys' death shattered Rhaenyra's soul. But it also crystallized her purpose. In retaliation, Daemon Targaryen orchestrated the murder of Aemon's nephew, young Prince Jaehaerys, Aegon II's firstborn son. The infant was butchered in his cradle by assassins known as Blood and Cheese, a dark moment in Targaryen history. The message was clear: if you take my son, I will take yours. The realm was no longer choosing sides. It was choosing survival. The dragons take the sky. Soon, dragons took to the skies. Rhaenyra's forces captured key territories. Harrenhal, Driftmark, and parts of the Riverlands. Her dragon, Syrax, became a symbol of her claim, while demons Caraxes struck fear into enemies from the Vale to the Reach. But Aegon II still had Vagar, and the realm was splintered. The small folk, terrified of dragonfire and destruction, began to hate both sides. The land bled, castles burned, and families were torn apart. All because a queen demanded justice. The queen takes King's Landing. In a stunning turn, Rhaenyra's forces marched on King's Landing. Aegon II had been severely wounded and fled the capital. The Iron Throne stood empty. Rhaenyra entered the city victorious, crowned once more, this time not in words, but in fact. But her triumph was hollow. The people did not cheer her. They feared her. Food ran low. Riots broke out. Her son Joffrey, attempting to ride a dragon too wild for him, fell to his death. The city turned against her. The throne she bled for cut her deeper than any sword. The fall of Rhaenyra. After months of chaos, Rhaenyra's own guards turned on her. Betrayed, broken, and desperate, she fled King's Landing, seeking safety at Dragonstone. But it was not to be. Aegon II, recovering from his injuries, struck back. His forces cornered her. Dragonstone fell, and in a cruel twist of fate, Rhaenyra, the realm's delight, the promised queen, was fed to Vagar, Aemon's ancient dragon. Her own son was forced to watch. Revenge had started the war. Now, revenge had consumed her. Aftermath. A legacy of fire. Though Rhaenyra died, her cause lived on. Her son Aegon III would eventually become king, uniting the shattered realm. But the damage was irreversible. The Dance of the Dragons killed nearly all the dragons in Westeros. It destroyed the Targaryen dynasty from within. And it all began with a stolen crown, and a mother's revenge. Rhaenyra Targaryen was many things: ambitious, proud, flawed, but above all, she was wronged. And in seeking justice, she set the skies ablaze. Was Rhaenyra right to seek vengeance? Or did her rage doom her legacy? The Dance of the Dragons is a warning etched in flame. In Westeros, power is not given, it's taken. And revenge always has a cost. But one thing is clear: Rhaenyra Targaryen will never be forgotten. Not as the woman who lost the Iron Throne, but as the woman who burned everything down trying to take it back. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Rhaenyra's revenge and the fiery origins of the Dance of the Dragons, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. Who do you think was truly to blame for the war? Until next time, remember, in the Game of Thrones, even dragons can fall. Valar Morghulis.